So, we have a lot of maps. We have 6 new stages. Sorry, we have... Do we have 6 new stages? One of them's not released. We have 5 new stages, 1 unreleased new stage, 4 Splatoon 1 maps, 3 Splatoon 1 maps, 1 unreleased Splatoon 1 map, and 4 Splatoon 2 maps. I'll say off the bat, the stages look way, way better. I talked about Hagglefish essentially looking like a better version of Mahi Mahi Resort. I mean, sorry, not Mahi, like Starfish, because it has actual sides. But in general, the stages seem a lot more open. There's a lot more places to move. I think the new stages look great. Eeltail's like the one I don't care about the most, but outside of that, I'm really interested in all the new stages. And even Eeltail doesn't look bad. It just doesn't look great to me.
That's the one with like the bridge across the middle, right?
Yeah. Like, that one just looks okay. Like, it exists. It'll probably be playable. I don't have any strong opinions on it.
Well,
Just kind of a stage in the game.
I just wanted Mahi Mahi to come back.
Yeah, you got your stage. I got Flounder and Summon later, but I still got it. They brought back all the big four, which is crazy.
Mahi was like my favorite stage ever, like just for pure enjoyment of the game. Museum's like also pretty good as well.
Yeah,
so I'm just happy that those 2 maps are back. And the reworks, or I don't even know if it's reworks, but it looks like they changed some tiny details about them. They also look good to like match what Splatoon 3 is compared to like 2 and 1.
Yeah, I've talked about the reworks a bit. Outside of, I hate Hammerhead's rework because it's not the same stage. But I like what they did with all of them, especially Museum. Museum got the best changes. It didn't get a lot, but having glass over the tower path, like, not only adding more room to fight from, so the stage is less small, but the tower is now, like, not over water. The tower is now an actual viable mode on Museum. Like, it's not going to feel ass to play. That's insane. I'm really happy with those. I guess what people are probably less happy about is Splatoon 2 stages.
I think it's only Wahoo.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like Inkblot either.
No, it's Wahoo and Inkblot that came back, I think.
Wahoo, Inkblot, Mako, and Sturgeon. I'm fine with Mako and Sturgeon. I don't think Mako needs any changes. Mako's great.
Yeah,
Sturgeon could use a little, but like whatever. Inkblot and Wahoo need changes. They both need changes.
I think Wahoo 100% needs a change. Like, long range on that map is just, you need long range or else you're pretty much losing. Inkblot, my only problem with Inkblot is I feel like retakes and like getting back to mid after like your team wipes or something is just so impossible sometimes.
Yeah, because you have nowhere to go. You just go through mid.
Yeah,
that's
like
it.
you have like mid or far left flank. So I feel like if they
and far left is terrible.
Yeah,
so
like,
terrible.
If they open up the map by like either making a ramp from mid to like your plat that's like not off to one side, or like just making it in general like the entire map design is more of a slope, I feel like it'll be really good. Sturgeon, I like it and I don't like it at the same time. Like, it's one of those maps that like I don't mind. I don't really have anything else to say about that one. Wahoo, I feel like I really, really hope they change at least some way.
Yeah, Sturgeon to me could use some minor changes, but like if they don't tweak it much besides, well, a bit of extra grates on the snipe area exists on the left side, like tiny. Like, if they don't change it, I'm okay with it. I'll play the stage in every mode but Clan Blitz because it's bad on Clan Blitz, but I'll play it. I'm fine with it, but I do hope we get a little bit more on the other modes. We'll have to see what they do, though.
One thing I do really like, though, that they're doing is that they're straying away from, like, really vertical maps.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Flounder Heights was really vertical, but, like, they're just squishing it now.
I think Flounder was fine, but Flounder had, like, an unbelievable amount of walls you could climb. Like, exactly, you would have to do it like that. That's the only way you do it. Like, if you're making it vertical, you have to climb, like, 15 different places, or it feels terrible, because approaching upward is hard. And that's why I'm okay with the squish, because, like, the squish doesn't get rid of the movement in options, it just makes them faster. To me, that makes it look more fun. I know it looks weird, like, admittedly, I've heard Flounder flats a lot, it does look flat, but, like, in terms of the stage being good to play, it will be better, I think. But
yeah, I was gonna agree with you, because, like, vertical maps can be fine, but you have to have like a lot of entry points, otherwise it becomes really, really bad.
That's the thing I'm happy with in general. It looks like there's way more places to move, and not to mention the spawn areas. Every map has an actual spawn area map. There's no walleyes anymore because of the new spawn system. That is great. That was the worst part about like a ton of maps, is their spawn regions were terrible. I'm very glad that's a fixed thing, and especially for casuals, like spawn camping Like, I agree spawn camping is not obviously nowhere near OP as people say it is, but it being changed to be more tolerable is a good thing. The spawn regions still were not good. They needed to be changed, I think. But yeah, I think we're pretty happy with the maps overall. It looks pretty good. We'll see what they change on the new ones. I'm thinking a few things will probably get banned after the first month or two, just because I don't think they're going to do too many changes. But I think for the most part, a lot of good stages. It already looks better than the entirety of Splatoon 2's maps, which is funny. But
yeah, a lot of Splatoon 2 maps look really bad compared to the maps that we have so far going into the game.
Yeah, it's already way better. Whoever they hired to do the new maps, they've done a good job.
No more humpback.
No more humpback. 25 missile per team. Oh my god. Actually, that's an understatement. It's probably more. Okay. Mode changes. So Tower and Rainmaker seem mostly I'm sorry, not Tower Rainmaker. Tower Zone seem mostly unchanged for the time being. There's not really anything major other than it doesn't look like there's any 2 zones maps. We can't confirm that, but we have seen zones on a lot of maps, and none of them have 2.
They've kind of went away with that, haven't they? Like Splatoon 1 had quite a bit with but then they reworked it to only be 1 or something, and then
Splatoon 2 made it so the 2 zones are next to each other rather than super split up. Splatoon 3 seems like it's just getting rid of it.
Is there more than Blackbelly that has 2 zones? Because I can't think of any.
Reef.
Oh,
Pits.
oh yeah, because they're exactly right next.
There's definitely less. There's Reef, Pit, and I think there's one other I'm blanking on right now. Manta, yeah, there we go. So there's a few, but I think Splatoon 3 will probably not have any. Oh yeah, Moray too. There's a few, but Splatoon 3 right now doesn't seem like it has any. Oh yeah, Flounder will probably have 2. Actually, that's true. So there might be a few, but I think there will be less. Oh yeah, Triggerfish too. There is a lot. I don't know.
There's quite a bit, but the zones are so close together on some of those stages that it basically is just one spot zone.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think we're going to see. Either the 2 zones are going to be literally on top of each other, or they're not going to be there at all. I don't think there's going to be any, even to the degree of Blackbelly split in Splat 2, because that split's significant. I think most of those are gone, which I'm a fan of. I think 2 zones is more stally than single zone. I don't like it, so. I don't want Explos just shooting the zone, and I'm an Explo player. I don't want that. Outside of that, though, Rainmaker with checkpoints. So the way it works, just to recap in case we don't know here, there are multiple checkpoints for most stages except Hammerhead, because Hammerhead looks garbage, as per usual. There's multiple checkpoints. You get to choose which one you go to, and then you can go to the goal. It's not like Tower, there's no set path. You have a bit of freedom. I really like this. I think lower ranks end way too fast and they need it. At higher levels of play, it still adds a few things, and I'm a fan of it.
I don't know what to think, actually. I think the checkpoints overall are probably better than no checkpoints at all. Especially when, if you think about it, one wipe could determine a Rainmaker game right at the beginning of the game. On some maps, so I feel like that definitely helps as sort of helping the team that maybe made a mistake that they shouldn't have, and they don't lose the entire game from the beginning. But I think it's one of those things that I have to wait and see before I have an actual opinion on it.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
I mean, Mia as a Rainmaker main.
Oh yeah, true. We got the objective player here. Probably should ask him.
I think it's a good change because when I do get to that pedestal, I'm able to actually use my main weapon and my special, my sub. So I think it's a good change, and it slows down the pace a lot.
Yeah, I like it. And then late game Rainmaker is still fast because once the checkpoints are clear, it's same as before. So I think it slows it down early, but it doesn't slow it down permanently, which I like.
Do we know? Well, I'm assuming no. I was just gonna ask. Do we know how early those checkpoints are, or how late they are?
What do you mean?
No? What's an example I can use?
On the map?
Yeah, so
it
for
depends.
example,
We've seen Hammerheads looks directly in the middle. Undertows looks a lot further forward, so we don't really know yet.
Yeah, because
it could be a wide range.
Is the checkpoint in mid and not so much in the spawn, or is the checkpoint into the enemy's spawn and you can't?
It's kind of halfway, I'd say. As an average, it's probably about halfway between mid and the enemy spawn. So I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Clam Blitz, on the other hand, has simplified the mode. First, you can see clams on the top of the screen. You can tell how many clams each teammate has just by looking up, which, even for competitive, that's nice. I can immediately tell who I'm tossing clams to just by looking at the top of the map to make a football. And then secondly, is a change I'm really happy with. I know it seems small, but 8 clams is a ball. There's so many goddamn clams on the map, there's too much. It's too much. Simplifying that down to 8 being max and probably less spawns and less clams to make it football is so nice. Like, there's way too many for me. And I really think this mode needed to be easier to understand. That's a problem everywhere. I like the changes for it. I don't think it's groundbreaking, but I think especially the lower level you go, the better it affects the mode.
I agree. I think it's a better change. The only change that we haven't seen yet that I would want to see or know more about is if you currently have the enemy team's basket down, will clams spawn closer to the enemy team's basket?
Oh yeah, true. That needs to go.
That's the only thing for clamlets that I really dislike, because it gives the benefit to the team that's pushing, and it kind of makes the game, in my opinion, a little bit unfair at that point, because you can't really defend your basket if clams keep spawning in front of it and there's no reason for the enemy team to back up type thing.
Yeah, Inkblot's best example of that. 2 spawns
Exactly.
on the plat, 1 right underneath it. There's 12 clams that can just spawn right there, and people don't even have to move. It makes it horrible. I think either, yeah, shutting off spawns when the basket's open would be cool. I've never considered that. Or just don't have spawns over there. Have the spawns closer to mid in general. Either of those two I'd be happy with, but that's the thing I do want to see changed. I also forgot to mention for Rainmaker, there's no Stingray in Rainmaker now. Rainmaker gets to be an actual fun to watch mode now.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
No, I'm kidding.
No, I don't even think Charger players enjoy having to be Stingray bots in Rainmaker. Am I right, Ice? Is C-Jet fun in Rainmaker? Really?
What? Sorry.
Is C-Jet fun in Rainmaker?
For me, yeah, but versing it, no.
That's exactly. Yeah, no
Like,
Ray. I think
I do agree that Stingray and Rainmaker was incredibly unfair, because, like, even for someone that plays it, I don't think one special should be able to shut down the entire push so consistently, especially like globally. So that's really nice that it's no longer in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the modes look improved. Nothing super significant, but I don't think any of these modes need anything super significant. The only change I want to see still is I want to see more tower changes. Riding tower should be more fun, or at the very least, get rid of the bullshit special advantage when you ride tower. That shit's still dumb. I think that needs to be changed.
Oh yeah, that also.
But even if they just reduce that, if we're going with the minor rune, you gain special less fast on tower, I'll take that. Any of that would be good. But I like the changes that we have so far. I think it makes it better, so that's good for the modes.
I still have a problem with Clamblitz though.
Which is?
Like, Clamblitz has a really bad pacing. It's either you instantly KO or nobody scores until like overtime.
I agree.
But making less clams either makes it KO faster, but then I guess you'll have to like reduce the clam spawns, but that just means it also makes it slower at the same time. So I don't know like how to make the pacing better.
Yeah, that's hard to say. I think it depends a lot on the spawns and the map layouts. I think in general, though, if the maps are easier to push on, Clam Blitz will feel more fluid. I think part of the problem is just Splatoon 2 maps just suck on Clam Blitz. Like, there's so few actual good clam stages in this game. So
yeah, I can agree with that.
But, I think the stage will help a lot.
Most of the time, like, pushing on Clam Blitz, it's not the fact that, like, the mode itself is inherently slow. It's more of it's really hard to get the push going or like actually break the opponent's basket and score. So I agree with that.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they do with that. But yeah, I mean, as a whole, I think I'm good with it. So next up is a topic. So I put this list in chat. So if you scroll up, you'll see all the kits we know so far. By the way, chat, if you don't know about the special advantage thing we just talked about, I have done a video on it. You get passive special advantage based on the objective, so there's a video covering it. But outside of that, you can check that if you want to see specifics. We're going to move forward here and talk about weapon kits. And we know a lot of kits so far. I can't put the list in actual chat for you guys, but we're going to talk about some of the most notable ones, and then we'll go over some kit hopes. So what do we want to start with for kits? What's the first one that jumps out at you guys of all the new kits we have so far? What about you guys?
I mean, I'm like thinking about it because
okay,
going into Splatoon 3, I'm not like thinking about playing chargers primarily, but I think that vacuum on charger or the ink vac is really interesting on charger because now you can actually like go up into the fight as a charger and be useful, whereas before, if you were up close with it, you were more of useless to your team, or like it was really bad for you as a charger player.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's like the one kit that like I'm interested for. Other than that, though,
200p too, though. It'll be faster to charge, finally. No 220p.
I think. Oh, true. I think Jet Sculpture's kit, because that's like the point sensors to slash suction
Yeah,
bomb.
marker vacuum. I'm surprised you like that kit. I kind of don't.
I don't know if I like it or don't. I think I dislike it more of because I think the sub weapon is really bad, and then on top of that is really bad on Jet.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the vacuum has potential on Jet because okay, like in my idea, it gives you the option to go into the fight, basically make their ink or their weapons useless and fire a shot, which gives your team space, and then you're also now able to like use your range to your advantage in the middle of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the only thing I can think of. Other than that, though, like nothing really strikes my eye right now until the game happens.
Mm-hmm. For me, outside of E-Leader could potentially get Burst Bomb because it has Wave Launcher, and in general, I like Wave Launcher with it.
Please.
I don't know if it will, but there's a chance. It does look like Splatoon 1 Leader Kit. I think it'll get that, or it'll get like some sub it's already had, I guess. Outside of that, though, my number one picks are two dualies, which, first of all, Gluga dualies with Wall and Booyah Bomb. It's not going to be as impressive as KL. If the weapon doesn't get buffed, it's not going to be great. But that's exactly the kit this weapon is needed. That is its perfect kit. Wall and Booyah to keep itself alive. That will be hard to move out of an area. I love that kit. But more importantly, though, and this is straight up, this is the weapon that's the most buffed between games. It is straight up. No other weapon will be more buffed than this. Tetra Dually. Not only does it not have to deal with MPU, not only are the specials better for it, but it has a special, and it's one that lets it go in. Auto Reef Slider Tetra will be insane. Tetra is going to be a huge threat in Splatoon 3. I'm so curious what we're going to see about that.
Yeah, I think Tetras in Splatoon 3 are actually going to be really, really strong.
They're going to be so good.
Like, if you're a good Tetra player, going into Splatoon 3 where everything that basically made you dislike playing the weapon or like that was so hard for you is almost virtually gone from the game. And on top of that, you actually have a special that does something and is not Splashdown, which does nothing. But the invincibility, I think, is like what makes it so much more threatening. Like you said, the fact that you can go in for free and either get kills or back out immediately, I think, is going to be really strong.
Yeah. I'm almost wondering if they nerf Tetra early, like give it some kind of minor compensation nerf, because the devs must be smart enough to realize this too.
The only thing I can think of is ink management, because that's usually what they do.
Yeah, it's only 3% per roll, making it like 4. Like that's what I see, like 3 to 4% ink efficiency roll. That's a good change. Just make it a little bit less oppressive there. Mm-hmm. I think either they'll get a nerf or they'll get one after. I just hope it's not a too significant one. Just it only needs minor nerfs, I think. We'll see what happens though. Bagel, what about you, though? Any kits stand out to you out of the confirmed list? Anything you really like to see?
I mean, obviously, what stands out is the weapons I play.
Mm-hmm.
So, Zab having suction tactical, that's going to be...
Oh, boy.
Really...
All the Zap players get to keep
one
playing
of the best
Zap.
support kits for them. Mm-hmm. And then, obviously, Dynamo.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I really like that, honestly, for it.
No, me too. I think it's the best kit it's ever gotten in either game.
I like having Sprinkler for movement and for like extra paint, and having Tactical as something you could just pop and just have your ink take back is really good as well.
Mm. And the buffs. Cure with Dynamo is not bad. That is a thing. It used to run in Splatoon 1. I think it actually works with Tacticooler very well. I guess outside of that, we have some kits that we can speculate on. Some kits that we don't know that could be important. And I will name 2 of them. One, Tentabrella. I am very, very curious what they give to Tentabrella, because I think that weapon is going to be very interesting in Splatoon 3. But second, and most importantly, though this is my personal bias, Explo. Compared to Tetra, the only other weapon with 2 bad kits in the game is Explo. Explo does not have a good kit yet, and depending on what it gets, it could be really good. I hope it's not a painting special, because that would be so broken in zones. Personally, I want a kit that helps it with other modes, and I want a beacon. Nintendo, give it a beacon, please. Explo is so good with, like, aggressive type comps or chip damage. Being able to also give jumps to your team in that game would be so useful. But any deployable would be cool with it, honestly. Mine would be fine too, or Sprinkler if Sprinkler's better, I'll take it, I guess. But only if it's better.
What do you what would be like your ideal special for it then?
I really like either well, I guess right now my pick would be Killer Whale 5.1. The damage could be very useful. Oh yeah, or Wave Breaker. Either of those. Damage and location. But it doesn't help paint.
Because Wave Breaker helps a lot with the location.
Yeah, the location would have super good effects and the damage combos. And if you hit them with the next blow, they can't jump over it. Wave Breaker would probably be better, but I would take Whale as well. So my hope is Beacon or Wave Breaker / Whale. Oh, I forgot one more weapon to bring into this discussion here. Bamboo. I think I'll just be straight up, okay? Now I know we just talked about how E-Liter could get burst. Screw that. Give it to Bamboo. Give it its Mach 3 burst bomb back. It doesn't have damage up. I think it totally deserves a burst bomb in the next game.
It has to, in my opinion.
Yeah. That's what it needs, I think. If not, probably curling, I guess. But it should get a burst bomb, in my opinion. That's like a weapon where I see it, I'm like, yeah, that should be a burst bomb weapon. What about you guys? Any other kits you want that we don't know yet? Anything you guys are speculating on? I'm guessing Bagel cares about Mini.
I mean, obviously.
And Ballpoint, too.
Bob. So, Mini, I really want Burst Bomb back with it because it combos really well. And for special, I really want the Vacuum just because I feel like run speed with it. You can go like super fast with it. So
yeah, be good positions for Vac. Can I predict the Ballpoint one? Can I predict the Ballpoint kit?
Sure.
Beacon Tacticooler, that's what you want, right?
I don't want that.
Oh, no. What do you want on it?
I think Beacon on it's fine. I don't think Tacticooler on it would be good.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I mean, benefit from the speed buffs a lot.
I think Beacon
and cover.
Inkstorm is fine.
You just wanted to keep Beacon Storm? No change?
I mean,
I think it's like really good itself because I think like Ballpoint was broken at one point. It was like hands down one of the best weapons, if not the best weapon in the game. And its kit was never the problem with it. It was more of the main weapon after they nerfed it.
They over nerfed it.
So I feel like its kit's really good.
Though it might be fine in 3 now without MPU. That power creep going down a little bit. I think it might actually be pretty good.
I think it could be good.
Yeah.
What about you, Ice? What weapons do you want?
E-Liter with Burst Bomb would be really, really nice. Because I missed that from Splatoon 1. But I do hope Jet Squelcher's second kit does have a Burst Bomb. Because outside of like spamming missiles and Stingray, I like the main weapon itself a lot.
Yeah, it should get a burst.
Especially with Burst Bomb. I think without Burst Bomb, it's really, really weak. Or like, it's not as good with Burst Bomb. But I like having Burst Bomb on Jet because it's a backline that can actually go in and fight. And essentially like win 1v1s against like shooters up close. So I hope it has Burst Bomb in the third game. For the special, honestly I'm not sure. Because like it's not there's no more global specials, or if there are, it's like I hope they don't give it Burst Bomb missiles because I feel like they're gonna nerf missiles eventually.
Yeah.
So
I mean, even if they nerf missile, I think they're still gonna it's gonna be really hard to make missile not somewhat useful.
Yeah, it's gonna be good at some point. But
I just don't really want them anyway.
I feel like I'm like trying to think. Storm would be a decent special on it, I think. Missiles would probably be the best, but I don't want that.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I feel like Wave Breaker could be good, but I don't know. The special I'm kind of flexible on. The special I don't mind as much because like you can figure out like how good it will be, but I really, really hope that it keeps Burst Bomb.
Ooh, someone in Bagel's chat brought up an interesting weapon, Blob. Blob's another.
Oh yeah, Bagel. What do you want?
I kind of do want Fizzy on it, just cause.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's basically a blob shot, but like.
Yeah, I know. That's what makes it annoying.
And it has, like the.
You want to be able to spam me with Blob and Fizzy?
Yeah, and then combine it with like, I don't know, like Booyah Bomb or something.
Damn, that sounds annoying.
Oh yeah, that would actually be good.
Hey, I mean, I'm a support, so if Blob's good enough, I'd consider it. I'm down. All right.
Just have a hyper paint thing.
All right, moving on for the kits though. What else do we have to talk about? I think there's only a few things left. Training Recon Replay. So
amazing.
They're awesome. I did not think we were going to get replay mode. I'll go on record. I did not expect a replay mode at all. I
No,
wanted
I don't
one.
think.
I did not think we were going to get one at all.
Yeah, I think everyone wanted one, but nobody expected them to like actually do that. So
Mhm.
like when I saw that, I was really really happy because, well, as a competitive player, VOD reviewing is so much easier now, and you can actually see like up close with each person. You can see what mistakes you did as a team, or like what the enemy team perhaps likes to do. So I
Mhm.
think VOD reviewing and replay mode is super super good, as well as like if you have a really fun game, you can go back and just watch it
Yeah, like you
and like
can
save it as a replay.
slow down, fast forward, zoom in, change POV. Like
Exactly,
even
like
for me,
it's
where
perfect.
like my team has 3 people record, and then for good scrims, I just pop in someone to record for mecha and someone to record the map. Even that, and being able to throw that together, pales in comparison to a replay mode.
Exactly. The fact that everyone can do it now, the fact that everyone has access to it,
And just all
the
the
fact that everyone
options.
can look at themselves,
Hmm.
it's so good in the sense that it's good like no matter what, I think, because it gives you the ability to do whatever you want after a game. Like if you want to have fun or want to see how good you are personally, it can offer that to see like what mistakes you did to improve your own gameplay. If you play on a team competitively, it can give you a sense of what you need to do better as a team. Or if you just have a really fun game and like you might want to upload that video later or something, you can go in replay mode and see things that you might not have seen before and like make better like edits or clips.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that brings up another thing. You can upload these matches. People without a capture card, if you've ever wanted to do content or at least just like post a good game you had on YouTube, you could do it.
Well, I know the thing that I'm gonna be using it for, which is it might bring me back into coaching
Hmm.
because it's easier to do.
Oh yeah, way easier. I definitely want to do coaching more in Splat 3, but that will not be something I do immediately. I need a bit of time to game and
To
make
actually
content.
enjoy the game.
Yeah, I need to play the game. I need to understand the game. I need to make content on the game. Coaching will happen in a few months after. I want to do it for 3, but not immediately. Outside of that, training room needed an overhaul. Dummies that can shoot at you. Much more space to move. Being able to do it with your friends. The training room in Splatoon 2 is like the definition of the bare minimum. You can
Yeah.
use it. It functions. It's so unbelievably limited. There's nothing creative you can do.
I was kind of even though we didn't get it and like I didn't expect to at all, I was still hoping that like for the training mode would have like actual inklings or octolings shooting at you, like kind of
Mhm.
CPU players. And I feel like
Yeah.
that would also be really good.
Well,
Just like
one of the dummies
between games.
does. We just don't know how it works, but it has its own
Oh, okay.
section, so
Because
we
like
have to
for
see.
example, Octo expansion with the Agent 3 fight,
Mm-hmm.
like I personally really really enjoyed that. So like having that as some sort of like training mode or like recon or something between games, I feel like would be good.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, like I genuinely don't have any complaints with any of the recon, the training mode, or like the replay system at all. I think it's all been improved.
Yeah. Yeah, and Recon's awesome, mostly because I don't have to harass people to get footage of stages. That's awesome. Please let us recon stages on every mode. I'm pretty sure you can, but I didn't see that explicitly confirmed. But if they can do that, I am gold. I'm assuming you can, because, I mean, you can recon on modes in Splatoon 2. But yeah, I think it's huge. Casual, obviously competitive benefits more, but like, even if you're just ranked trying to improve, being able to do that is good. Or if you just want to upload a game, it's just awesome. I'm very happy about that. I guess we can wrap this up before we go to our final thoughts. We have one more section, which is Tricolor Turf War and Splatfest in general. Now, I'll go on record, and I said this in my podcast with Negus as well. Splatfest needed something new. Shifty stations were okay. They were a solid addition. They were not enough to make them fun, especially for 72 hours. It was too
Yeah,
much.
they were fun for like a couple of hours, but then afterwards it got really repetitive, I think.
Yeah, and it was also mega dependent on the shifties being good. If the shifty station wasn't fun, and a lot of them weren't, this sucked. I think Tricolor Turf War is a huge shakeup to the gameplay in a great way. It adds a ton. It adds 2 parts to the Splatfest, which helps with the time factor. It doesn't get old as quickly. The whole sprinkler thing is whatever. I don't really care about the Ultra Signal part as much as like it's not a bad change, but it's like it's not Pearl Killer Whale. Let's be honest. But I like it a lot. I think it's good, and we needed some kind of brand new default mode. Like, Table Turf War is a new entire mode. This is Splatoon-related, something you can't do before. That's something we've needed, and I really, really enjoy it. I'm looking forward to it. I think it sounds honestly pretty balanced when I think about it. It looks fantastic with the 3 colors, and it just sounds like fun. What do you guys think?
I think it's gonna be unbalanced.
Unbalanced?
Yeah, I don't think it's balanced at all. That was the only thing I disagree with what you were saying.
I mean,
Because it's still the sense of like if you have a good squad of 4 people, then the team with 4 people is going to be an advantage the entire game. Simply just because the other team only have 2 people per team, and instead of like, okay, so easiest explanation is you are 4 people on one team, and you still have 4 other people that you need to worry about. But if you're on one of the 2 players on one of the other teams, you have 6 people that you need to worry about.
yeah.
So that's like why I think it's unbalanced.
That's
but
why
in
I
terms
think
of
the
like
winning team in the middle makes it fair. Because the other 2 teams can't focus on each other without going through the first place team.
Yeah, I think it's still unbalanced though, because it's still numbers at the end of the day. And
Sure.
like you can still send like 2 people to one side, 2 people to the other side to like hold them back. But I think like in terms of enjoyment and like being really fun, I do think it's like going to be really enjoyable for everybody, whether you're a casual or competitive player. I do think it's something that will make Splatfests a bit more enjoyable, or at the very least just fun.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, even if it's not balanced, it looks fun. It's new, it's cool, it's a fun idea. I don't care too much either way. I'm just glad to see something different.
I just thought that Tricolor was going to be like 4v4v4.
Yeah,
but I know, like,
did not believe that for a second. I thought it might be 3v3v3. That was my direct reaction. Like, one more
yeah,
player.
because like 4v4v4,
but
just
like,
outside of like the number of people on the map at one time, it's just like lag, frame drops maybe. If
the
they
Switch
don't
cannot
improve
do it.
Yeah, like it just can't. It would be fun, but like when you're already having trouble with 8 people lobbies, having 12-person lobbies, I think would be
there's
really
frame drops on some Splatoon 2 maps when enough specials go off, and that's
although
it will not work.
Hopefully Splatoon 3 has like better servers, better
well, it has NPLM, so we'll see how much different that is, but
true.
Yeah.
So hopefully it improves.
Yeah. I do think like eventually a Splatoon game will have more than 8 people in a single match. I think it will not be until Splatoon 4 on the next console. Like, we just don't have the power for it on the Switch, in my opinion. I don't think you could do it on the Switch. But in a future one, I think we'll definitely see it. Alright, though. I guess we can go over if there's anything else we wanted to talk about. I'll let you guys go a little bit to think about it. Personally, I don't have too much else to add. I'm very happy with the package of Splatoon 3 so far. I think it's good. I'm curious to see what else we get in terms of a new ranked mode. I think we will get one in the 2.0 update, just like Splatoon 2. What I am more, not concerned, but what I'm curious about is the DLC being dropped every 3 months. How many weapons are we going to get? Are we getting new specials and subs? I'll say it right here. We need 3 kits on every weapon this time. 3rd kits for all. We didn't do it twice.
I think it's just mandatory because like as you said, some weapons might just get 2 bad kits. So like I think every weapon should at least have 1 good kit or a kit that makes sense for it. And that just helps with balancing the game because like then that means every weapon is like usable.
Yeah. And also just variety is nice. And it's Splatoon 3. 3 is for everything. 3 for the kids too, please.
The only thing I have a question about, or like that I'm thinking about, is the test fire only Splatfest, or can you host private lobbies?
I would assume you can't do PBs. I think we might get training room. Apparently on the site it says you could do training room on the Nintendo eShop.
Yeah, because I was gonna say then.
But I don't think you could
PB private lobbies, but either way, like I think it's still going to be really fun, and like obviously as we're going to PAX, I think we definitely need it to at least know like what we're gonna play in the 3rd game.
Yeah, you guys get to play it first and then go out there, which is good. I do think it's good. Like obviously, part of PAX being cool is that STDX and all the other teams got to try out the game before people. But I think this way is better, even if it's less exclusive, like everyone's played it. There will still be things there, like ranked modes, probably, I'd assume, that aren't there normally.
In the test fire, maybe.
People will get more comfortable with it. No, at PAX, I mean. I don't think it'd be in the test fire, but it's like, there'll be stuff at the test fire that won't be... There'll be stuff at PAX that won't be in the test fire, but, like, it'll mostly be like a few things, and you'll be mostly somewhat familiar with everything first, which I think is good for just having the teams feel comfortable rather than, damn, this team just didn't understand how this worked, and so they lost. Like, I don't want that, and I don't think we're gonna get that because of this. What about you, Bagel? Anything you want to add?
I just like the direction they're going with this game, especially with like a lot of the quality of life things they've done. And I don't know, that's about it.
Quality of life is huge for this game. I know it doesn't sound huge, but Splatoon is one of the most held back by quality of life series in the game. When new people try out this game, they find out so many random things you can't do for no fucking reason. Why can't you recon all the stages? I don't know. Why is the training room bad? I don't know. Why? Oh, well, the rotation system still exists, but it's like, there's so many things in this game that needed help with UI. And then on top of that, they did a bunch of stuff they didn't even need to do, like weapon animations, new weapon models for stuff that's similar. Top of the screen is way better. In general, everything looks so clear and easy to see. And in a game like this, that's this fast-paced, that's important. Yeah, I mean, I think it's no secret everyone here is very happy with Splatoon 3. I think pretty much any hardcore Splatoon fan is pretty happy with the game. I think even on a non-hardcore Splatoon perspective, I know some Nintendo bros are still saying 2.5. I think they're wrong, but I'm very happy with what they've done. I'm very excited for the game and trying it out this Saturday. And it's been good. I think we're all very happy with it, right?
Yeah, I think everyone's excited.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even people that haven't played Splatoon 2 but stopped playing the game, I think everyone's excited to actually play Splatoon 3 and like actually try out a new game and everything that comes with it.
Yeah. All right then. That's going to be it, everyone.